Have you ever sat still for a moment, maybe on a rainy day, looking out the window and wondered, what am I living for? I have. I remember a day not too long ago sitting on my couch with a cup of tea in my hands. The rain was tapping softly against the glass, and everything felt so heavy. I wasn't sad, not exactly, but I felt lost, like I was drifting without a map. It's strange how we can feel that way, isn't it? Even when life seems fine on the outside, there's this quiet voice inside asking, is this all there is? I sat there for a long time that day, just listening to the rain. I didn't try to force an answer out of myself, I couldn't. Instead, I let the sound of the rain wash over me, like a gentle reminder that it's okay to not know everything. We're often told that we need a big purpose, something grand to chase after, a dream career, a legacy, or something that makes the world stop and notice. But what if it doesn't have to be that way? What if a purpose doesn't always mean changing the world or achieving something huge? Maybe it's quieter than that, softer, closer to home, something that feels like a warm hug on a cold day. Looking back, I started noticing the small moments that made me feel alive. One time, I was walking home after a long day, tired and worn out. The sky was turning orange with the sunset, and there was this little bird hopping around on the sidewalk. I stopped to watch it for a minute. It didn't care about me or my worries. It just kept hopping, pecking at the ground, doing its own thing. And for some reason, that made me smile. It wasn't a big moment, but it felt like enough. It reminded me that life doesn't always have to be about the big wins. Sometimes it's the tiny, unexpected things that bring us back to ourselves. Another time, I decided to bake a cake, and not for anyone else, just for me. I'm not even that good at baking. The cake came out a little lopsided, with the frosting melting off the sides. But sitting there with a slice of it, warm from the oven, I felt this tiny spark of joy. It wasn't about the cake being perfect. It was about giving myself that little bit of care, that moment of peace. I remember taking a bite and laughing at how messy it looked, but it tasted like comfort. Have you ever had a moment like that? Something so simple, but it stays with you, like a soft whisper telling you that you're doing okay. I also recall a morning when I woke up earlier than usual. The house was quiet, and the first light of dawn was just creeping through the curtains. I made myself a cup of coffee and sat by the window, watching the world slowly wake up. There was something so peaceful about that moment. No rush, no to-do list, just me and the stillness. I realized then that these little pockets of calm are what keep me grounded. They're not things I can put on a resume or show off to the world, but they're mine and they matter. I used to think a life purpose had to be something I could write down in big, bold, letters to dream job, a legacy, something people would remember me for. I spent years chasing that idea, trying to fit myself into a mold of what I thought success should look like. But the more I chased, the more tired I got. I felt like I was running a race with no finish line, always looking for the next big thing to prove my worth. Then one day, I was sitting outside, just listening to the wind rustling through the trees. The air was cool, and the leaves were dancing in the breeze. It hit me. Maybe my purpose isn't out there somewhere, waiting for me to find it. Maybe it's already here, in the way I choose to live these quiet days. For me, it's become about finding comfort in the small things. A warm drink on a cold morning, the sound of a friend's laughter, the feeling of sunlight on my face. It's also about the moments when I allow myself to slow down, like when I take a walk in the park and notice the way the flowers bloom, or when I sit with a good book and let myself get lost in its pages. It's not about having everything figured out. It's about letting myself be okay with not knowing and still finding little reasons to keep going. What about you? What's one small thing that makes your heart feel a little lighter? Maybe it's the smell of rain, the sound of your favorite song, or the way your pet curls up next to you. These things might seem small, but they're powerful in their own way. I want to share another story with you, something that happened a few months ago. I was at a small cafe, waiting for my order, when I overheard a conversation at the table next to me. An older woman was talking to her friend, and she said something that stuck with me. She said, "I spent so many years trying to be someone I thought I should be. But now, at this age, I've realized that the best thing I can do is just be kind to myself. Her voice was soft, but there was so much wisdom in her words. I didn't know her, but I felt like she was speaking directly to me. That moment made me think about how hard we can be on ourselves. We set these high expectations, thinking we need to have it all together, but maybe the real purpose is simpler: to be gentle with ourselves, to give ourselves the same kindness we give to a dear friend. I left the cafe that day feeling a little lighter, like I'd been given permission to let go of some of the pressure I'd been carrying. So, do you have a purpose in life? I think you do, Vin. If it doesn't look like what you expected, it doesn't have to be loud or impressive. It can be as simple as giving yourself permission to rest, to breathe, to feel whatever you're feeling without judgment. Life doesn't always need to be a race to somewhere better. Sometimes, it's just about being here, right now, and letting that be enough. You don't need to have all the answers, and you don't need to be perfect. You're enough just as you are, in this very moment. I hope this leaves you feeling a little lighter today. If you want, share something small that brings you peace in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Maybe it's a memory, a place, or just a little ritual that makes your day brighter. Let's create a space where we can all find a bit of healing together. Take care of yourself, okay? You deserve that much and so much more.